Hello everybody, welcome back to the JK Spiral, more particularly JK Social News. I'm your host, Jonk, and today we will be going right into the news. This is our first social news episode, so let's get into it. Our first topic is film and media. Let's see what interesting topics there are in film and media today. Well, the new movie Aquaman, put out by Warner Brothers and DC, seems to be doing pretty well. With a critic score of 64 and an audience score of 80 on Rotten Tomatoes, people generally seem to like it. The worldwide gross, or total sales worldwide, of Aquaman is $866 million so far. This follows DC's second most popular movie, Wonder Woman, that was standing at $821 million in worldwide gross. That is kicking Justice League out of the water, which is currently standing at a surprising $657 million. Unfortunately, Aquaman is not the king yet. The current standing champ of the current DC films, this does not count the Dark Knight trilogy because those are standing pretty high in terms of worldwide gross, but the current DC king is Batman v Superman, a film that a lot of us had conflicting feelings about, and it is currently sitting at $873 million in worldwide gross. Alright, now that's enough about Aquaman and our big film scoop. Now it's time to get into a favorite of mine here. A new series called Must See or Save Your Money. Alright, let's get right into it. The movies we're going to be looking at today are Bumblebee, the new Transformers movie, Mary Poppins Returns, a classic with a new twist, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Bird Box. Let's dive into it. Our first movie is Bumblebee. Bumblebee is rated PG-13 and has a critics rating of 93 and an audience rating of 79 in Rotten Tomatoes. This movie runs for an hour and 45 minutes and has grossed $192 million worldwide. Now, in my opinion, the Transformers movies in general haven't been that good. Bumblebee isn't really an exception, simply a prequel. In my opinion, this is definitely a valid option if you're a super huge Transformers fan or a fan of John Cena, but in my opinion, I would put it in the maybe column. If you have the money and the time, it's a valid option. This film features talents such as John Cena and Haley Steinfeld. Interesting. Alright, our second movie, Mary Poppins Returns. Mary Poppins has a Rotten Tomatoes critic score of 78% and an audience score of 70%. This movie runs for a total of 2 hours and 10 minutes and has grossed a total of $208 million worldwide. Now, this movie goes back to the heart of us all, the old days when we sweeped the chimney and when things were simpler and, well, we didn't have as much homework. But in my opinion, this is a great movie for families or if you're super into theater. This movie features such talents as Emily Blunt, who has starred in such movies as A Quiet Place and Into the Woods. It also features the talents of Lin-Manuel Miranda, the creator of the Broadway hit show Hamilton. So, if you like either of those talents, I'd say this movie is the movie for you. So in my opinion, it lands in the must-see category. Next movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I personally saw this movie very recently, and I'll share my opinions at the end. The Rotten Tomatoes score of this movie for the critics was 97%, and the audience score was 94%. That is the highest rating we've seen on our list so far. This movie runs for an hour and 57 minutes and has grossed a total of $230 million worldwide. In my opinion, this movie has so many funny moments. It's so great. There are so many talented people who aren't given the recognition they deserve acting behind it, and it's really funny to see with friends. So, in my opinion, it's not only a movie that's safe for children and has funny jokes for people of older ages, this movie is also a valid option for those members of the meme community, shouting out a specific meme at the end. In my opinion, this movie is so funny and references so many funny things, and there are going to be so many memes that come out of this movie that it is definitely a must-see. This movie features such talents as Haley Steinfeld, who was one of the talents we discussed, was on Bumblebee. Alright, let's get into our final movie, and one I'm not super happy discussing, but it's popular, so let's get into it. Our next movie is Bird Box, a Netflix-only movie. Bird Box's Rotten Tomatoes score is a critic score of 62% and an audience score of 65%. Not very good scores so far. This movie runs for an hour and 56 minutes and has 45 million views on Netflix, making it one of the most popular Netflix series or films. This movie has spawned so many memes, mostly starring around its main character, Sandra Bullock. Here are a couple examples of such memes. And that's just a few of them. Out of all the movies I've listed so far, I'd say the only good reason to watch this movie is if you're crazy into horror, or if you just need to know for all the memes. That's why I watched it. But it definitely has its share of plot holes, and I was not personally a fan. So, all in all, it may cost nothing, but save your 2 hours on a better film. This film is definitely landing in the save your money, more like save your time column. Alright, that's all for Must See or Save Your Money. See you next month. Alright, our next topic that we're going to dive right into is gaming. Alright, let's count down the top 5 games of 2018. Brief disclaimer, if I missed anything or my calculations were incorrect or my facts were incorrect, I put that disclaimer at the beginning. But remember, I'm not perfect. Sources, a lot of the times, are not perfect. So apologies if any of these facts are not accurate. Another reminder is that this list is not in order. These are just the games I put at the top 5. Number 5. Again, order doesn't matter, but I love a good list. Number 5. Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is Nintendo's new title, featuring all the characters we know and love from the previous Smash Bros. Games. Super Smash Bros. Has sold 3 million copies in its first 11 days, making it one of the highest-selling Super Smash Bros. Games. At about $50 to $60 each copy, this is making a lot of money. Number 4. Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is a game for, well, those people who like monsters and hunting and worlds. I'm just kidding. I haven't played Monster Hunter World in a while, but it is a good game. My apology for my lack of personal opinion. I have not played the game in a while, and I don't know. I just included it on this list because it was popular. That's how this list works. Monster Hunter World has 5.37 million in sales, putting it at the number 4 slot. Number 3. God of War 2018. God of War 2018 is a great game and is earning critical acclaim, and its 5.47 million in sales speaks to this. This game is bringing it back to the good old days of hacking at things with axes. So if you like games like that, this is the game for you. Number 3. Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man PS4 is great. Spider-Man PS4 is a much-needed game, with many of the past Spider-Man titles coming in lackluster or even just not living up to the Spider-Man name. But this new game not only features a great storyline, but also features a great moveset. This game is definitely great and slides in with 6.59 million in sales. Alright, we're here at the number 1 meaningless spot because, again, this order doesn't matter. It's just my top 5 games. Red Redemption 2. Red Redemption 2 is a game that people were waiting for, anticipating, and can't stop talking about. And because of its extreme popularity, I decided to put it on this list. Also, it's 13.82 in sales between Xbox and PS4. That's also a little detail that got it into this list. This game brings us back to the simple days of cowboys. And with that 13.82 million in sales, it earned a spot on this top 5 list. Alright, that concludes our top 5 games of 2018. Can't wait to see you in 2019. Alright, time for our final gaming news. The game that has been plaguing us all for way too long, Fortnite. Why is it still alive? Breaking news in Fortnite. There are over 200 million people playing Fortnite as of November 2018. That means, as of now, there are probably more than 200 million people playing Fortnite. To give you some perspective, there are 7.5 billion people on Earth. 200 million is 2% of the entire population of Earth. That means there is 2% of the Earth that is playing Fortnite. That is frightening. To give you even more perspective, there are only 325.7 million people in America. That means over 2/3 of the population of America is equal to the population of those playing Fortnite. So, that's just Fortnite news. Love that. Alright. Time to dive into our last segment, our other news segment. Today, our other news is YouTube news, wrapping up the year. There are 2 main YouTubers I'm going to be focusing on today, Shane Dawson and PewDiePie. Now let's dive into Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson is a YouTube veteran, being on YouTube for 10 years. Shane recently finished his 3rd documentary on Jake Paul, landing him at 19.6 million subscribers. His most viewed video so far is The Secret World of Jeffree Star. This is part of his 2nd series where he dived in to the world of Jeffree Star and what it was like to live as this particular YouTube. This beauty guru has also been on YouTube for a very long time, so it was interesting seeing Shane dive into Jeffree's life. Shane reached widespread acclaim this year for his 3 docu-series. One we already covered was The Secret World of Jeffree Star, but his first docu-series was on Tana Mongo, Mongoose, Mango, Tana Manongo, Tana Malgo, Tana Mergiger, however you say her name. This was diving into TanaCon and seeing whose fault it really was. Personally, I liked the series because it was finding out who was at the center of this tragedy that left many people with sunburns and, well, a lack of money. Shane took this upon himself because he acknowledged that so many people came to TanaCon to see him. But find out more in his series. His last series was Jake Paul, the YouTuber of infamy that we've all learned to, well, disrespect. But Shane's YouTube series gave him a bit of a redemption arc, which is interesting because it was finding out if he was a sociopath. I love when that happens. This dived into his girlfriend, his parents, his darkest secrets, and really got to the bottom of what made Jake Paul Jake Paul. This gave him so much traction in the YouTube circle. So many people were brought to Shane's channel through these series. So, all in all, a good year for Shane Dawson. Alright, time to dive into our second YouTuber, PewDiePie. PewDiePie is still the #1 most subscribed YouTuber on YouTube, and has been there for, well, a really long time. PewDiePie started out as a gamer and has now moved on to meme review and news and many other things. But the main fact that we're interested about PewDiePie is his battle with T-Series. PewDiePie and T-Series have been in this constant battle throughout all of 2018, seeing if T-Series would surpass the famous YouTuber. Well, at the end of 2018, here are the standings. PewDiePie is at a sub count of 79.7 million subscribers, and T-Series is following closely at second place with 78.8 million subscribers. Everyone give a quick clap to PewDiePie. Alright, that's been Social News, part of the JK Spiral. Now serious talk, if you enjoyed this show, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. It'll mean so much to me considering I rebranded and did a ton of work, like 4 hours of research, filming, and editing to get you this video. So it means so much to me if you like it, view it, watch the whole thing, please, and show it to other people. Alright guys, that is it. Thank you for watching JK Social News, part of the JK Spiral. It means so much to me that you guys watched it. Make sure to ring that bell, and make sure to subscribe to join the Social Squad. Just kidding, I'm not calling you that. You guys are the Spiralers. Just kidding, I'm not calling you that either. I'll call you the Jokers. That sounds good. JK Spiral, the Jokers. I like it. Comment below if you like being called the Jokers or if I should just stop. Alright guys, that's been it. Have a great day. Goodbye.